Sven Goran Eriksson was just as famous for his complicated love life as he was for taking charge of some of the best football teams in the world. The Swedish former England manager, who has tragically died aged 76 following a terminal pancreatic cancer diagnosis, said he had, at best, a year to live at the start of 2024. He shared the devastating diagnosis with fans, confirming that it was made last year after he collapsed while out on a run. Shortly before his death, he filmed a new documentary looking back at the ups and downs of his extraordinary life, which aired on Prime Video last week. For the film, he recorded an emotional, final goodbye, but chose to do it in a room alone without a cameraman, bringing the crew to tears. Director Claudia Corbisiero said, "Sven really wanted to make sure that this wasn't only a sad story, and that was something that he was really keen on is, I don't want this to be a boo-hoo, I'm dying thing." He wanted people to also lean into the fun of his life. During his time managing the Golden Generation, it was apparent Sven did indeed enjoy his downtime away from the pitch, with his romances often making headlines. His high-profile relationship with glamorous socialite lawyer Nancy Dell'Olio was frequently in the spotlight, along with his flings with TV presenter Ulrika Jonsson and FA Secretary Faria Alam. In the recent doc, Sven unapologetically said, "Sex is one of the good things in life for all of us. She was not married, I was not married. Probably I was stupid, but I think I didn't do anything criminal. I didn't really disturb anyone." The ex-coach's love life often took center stage alongside his distinguished career, where he won 18 trophies in club management, as he embarked on several high-profile affairs while managing the likes of Manchester City, Roma, and England. Before becoming a major sporting name, Sven married Ann-Christine Pettersson, whom he shares 2 children with, in July 1977. They filed for divorce in 1994. 4 years later, Italian lawyer Nancy Dell'Olio, 62, was introduced to the coach and they started dating. But things changed once he moved to London for his New England gig 3 years later, and he embarked on an infamous affair with model and TV presenter Ulrika Jonsson at the start of 2002. Nancy initially rubbished the rumors, insisting the pair were more united than ever. "We have spoken a lot over the last few days, and there has been a lot of rubbish written. Sven will speak and dismiss it all," she said, adding, "It is all a publicity attempt by her." The 2 women became embroiled in a public spat, with Ulrika responding, "Sven is behaving like a lying cad. He promised me it was over with Nancy, but then takes her out to dinner and doesn't even call me." Ulrika's nanny even claimed she'd caught the pair in bed together, and Sven eventually confessed, writing in his 2013 memoir, "It was not until we met at some kind of a function in Manchester that anything romantic occurred. I was there with some people from the FA. For some reason, Ulrika was also invited. We met at the hotel the evening before and ended up spending the night together." Ulrika said she was writing a book about her life. "Don't worry, Sven," she said. "You won't be in it." After that, Ulrika and I met when we could, not daily, but now and then. It got to be more and more serious. Nancy did not suspect anything. She was traveling to Italy a lot during that time. He added that he would meet Ulrika at her home and said he did not feel I had anything to apologize for. The affair lasted for 4 months. As for Nancy, she briefly dumped Sven before taking him back. In the Prime doc, Nancy shed some light on her side of the affair, detailing her reasoning for initially standing by Sven. Nancy explained, "We were Sven and Nancy since the first date. I was the first lady of English football, and there was never going to be another one after me. After Sven's first scandal, I wanted to leave him. I couldn't want to admit to myself that there was a possibility that I made a mistake, that I left everything for him. My lawyers said give him another chance, but think what you can get from this." Just 2 years later, he was caught up in another love triangle, this time with Football Association Secretary Faria Alam, 57, who, in a soap opera-style twist, also had an affair with the Football Association CEO Mark Palios. One of the Swedes' other mistresses was millionairess Marisa Cauchi, who enjoyed a relationship with the ex-Manchester City boss for 4 years. She ended it when she found out she was one of 5 other women in a harem. I was with Sven for 4 years and he broke my heart. He told me he loved me and promised we'd come out as a couple. In reality, he was keeping me a secret so he could romance other women, she told the Mirror. Eriksson also revealed in his 2013 autobiography that he once slept with a married woman on her sofa when her husband came home and caught them. The revelation was eventually cut from the final draft, but the memo didn't get to publishers in Norway who released the uncensored version. She had not said anything about having a husband, but suddenly the door opened and there was a big man who said, "Who the hell are you?" I said, "I better leave." And he replied, "I think it's probably for the best." He eventually split from Delolio in August 2007, with Eriksson later revealing he was not prepared for the public scrutiny of his relationships. "I thought I was prepared for England, but I was not prepared for things outside football, my private life. I am not very proud that fans could probably name 3 of my former girlfriends," he told the History Channel. "I don't think it damaged my football results. But my image outside football it damaged, yes. My private life was not very private in England." In 2002, when it came out about a woman, well, a Swedish one, Jonsson, I wondered what I should tell the players. It had nothing to do with football. But I was their manager and we were going into a World Cup. I told them sorry, but one of players stood up and said, "Boss, welcome to England." That was it. I felt good. It was over. Sven finally found lasting love with devoted partner Yanniseth Alcides, who was previously a dancer in Panama. The football manager spent the final years of his life loving Yanniseth, who he lived with in a sprawling property in his homeland of Sweden, near Sunne in Värmland. Speaking of their home together, the star said in the doc, "It's a beautiful place. It makes me calm, below the mountain where my father grew up." The couple, who met when Sven was coaching the Mexican national team, had been together for more than 15 years. Writing in his autobiography, Sven explained how having a drink with a friend in Mexico City went on to change the course of the rest of his life. He said, "She said her name was Yanniseth and that she worked as a dancer a restaurant and nightclub not far away. She invited me to come and watch her when she danced." Sven went on, "The next day I called Yanniseth and asked her over for dinner in my apartment. Pablo, home help, cooked the meal. Yanniseth was impressed." Confirming his sad passing, his family said on Monday, "Sven Goran Eriksson has passed away. After a long illness, SGE died during the morning at home surrounded by family." Before his death, the former England manager proclaimed in the documentary, "I had a good life, maybe too good, you have to pay for it."